What's up, guys? Ben Wilson with Beardbrand Alliance. Some of you asked me some questions, so I'm going to dive right in and get you some answers. Okay, first question comes from Random Polish Man. Is there any issue you've ever had with your beard that took a while for you to find the solution to? Probably how to properly use a comb on my beard without running into snags. I did a video about this a couple weeks ago, maybe about a month and a half ago, on the proper technique to use. But that was prior to doing that video. I didn't know how I'd always run into snags. So tried some methods out, and finally I was able to find one that worked. Okay, next one is from Rowan Clyde. As a young man dealing with balding, I was wondering, did you face any insecurities once you noticed it? Yeah. When I first noticed it, my barber was the first one that actually told me. And this was maybe, 8-9 years ago. And I just told him, hey, just shave it off, because I didn't want to deal with, thinking that people could see that I was going bald. So my solution was just to cut it off right away. But it's something that you get used to over time. Over time, you realize that, hey, people really don't care. There are tons of bald guys running around out there, and I'm pretty sure people aren't overly criticizing them because they're bald. So it's something that you learn to get used to. Okay, Rob writes, I love a longer beard. I just hate the Santa reference since mine is white. Any thoughts on coloring beards? I've never had to color my beard, but I'd say go ahead, give it a shot. And if it's something that you like and it makes you feel good, I'd say go ahead and just do it. I wouldn't really worry too much about people's appearance, or not appearance, what people have to say about your appearance. People say all types of stuff about my beard, and you just gotta learn to ignore it. The sooner you learn to ignore it and just go on with what makes you feel good, the better it's gonna be. Akil writes, really like the look of the short beard. Do you think it will ever make a reappearance? Yeah, probably. I'm not sure when. I think if I do shave my beard, I'm going to shave it all off. And then I'll probably go with the medium to short length beard for a little bit before I grow it out again. This one's from, forgive me if I mispronounce your name, Bartek Basianowski. Hello, Ben. How long have you grown a beard, and how many times a day do you spend time grooming it? What do you do professionally? So I've been growing this beard since September of 2018. I've trimmed it a few times since then just to kind of keep it even along the bottom, but nothing too aggressive. I probably grew my beard 2 to 3 times a day. And I don't spend more than, say, 10 minutes total grooming my beard. 10 minutes would be the max for the day. And what do I do professionally? I'm a contractor for the government. My field is logistics, and I'm focused primarily on distribution within Europe and Africa. Cruz Rose writes, what inspired you to join the military, and what advice would you give someone who's planning on joining? My dad was in the Navy, so seeing him being in the military, that inspired me to join as well. I chose the Marine Corps because it was challenging and I had to earn the title of being a Marine. So that's what led me towards that path. What advice would I give anybody that was looking to join the military? I'd say make sure first it's something that you really want to do. It's a substantial commitment of your life. So make sure it's something that you really want to do. I mean, the benefits from joining it's more than I can count. It's going to change the way you think. It's going to change the way you carry yourself. It's going to set you up for success moving forward. So make sure it's something that you really want to do. Find out whatever the requirements are, physical fitness requirements are to score the best points possible on the fitness test and shoot for those goals. Don't shoot for minimums, shoot for getting the max score in all of those events. Everything else you're gonna learn in boot camp and training, leadership and all those things you'll learn. Just be willing to learn, and I think you'll do just fine, and be disciplined. Gorilla Rob writes, what's your perfect Sunday? Bald with a beard. Looking good, bro. Where do you get your inspiration for style? Thanks. Sunday, man. It depends. It depends, man. So some Sundays I like to go on long bike rides with friends. Other Sundays I like doing brunch, grilling with friends, and something I've been doing for a while now is going shooting on Sundays. So shooting at the shooting range. So yeah, that's pretty much my typical Sunday. Where do I get my inspiration for style? James Bond, primarily. Huge style icon, big fan of James Bond. And I'd say my style is more, it's European, obviously, but it's more a mix of Italian and British. More so Italian in the summertime and British in the wintertime. Okay, next question is from Javid Ramzaran. How to deal with asymmetrical beard growth? If you notice that, and I'd say if it's slight, and it's hard to notice. You're going to notice it obviously because it's you and you see yourself every day. But if it's not too bad, I wouldn't really worry about it too much. Like I said, you would probably notice it more than anybody else would. If it's substantial, I'd try to even it out as best as possible. Yeah, that's what I would do. Consequence writes, how should we deal with a barber who destroys our beard? Well, prevention is probably your first weapon. So make sure you are explicit in your explanation to the barber in what you want, and just always keep an eye on what he does. If it's into the cut and you notice he's getting ready to touch your mustache after you told him like, hey, don't trim my mustache, say something. Just speak up and say something. If you notice he starts to cut in a little too far, stop him. Tell him again, hey, that's not what I wanted you to do. Have him adjust it as best as possible, and then go on from there. Your hair is going to grow back. I know it's frustrating, especially with beard growth, as it can take a long time. But yeah, I would just say that, and maybe you don't go to him the next time. Find recommendations for good barbers and visit those barbers and make sure that you tip them well when they do a good job. Okay, Christopher Johnson writes, I'm pretty new to shaving my head every couple days. I saw that you use the double-sided single blade. Is it better versus five blades? How do you battle shave bumps? Right now I get them before my occipital down to my neck. Super uncomfortable. Okay, one reason I use the double-sided single blade is, one, it's cheaper, way cheaper than using the 5-bladed razors that they have out there. And two, because it also helps with ingrown hairs. If you're prone to getting ingrown hairs, what happens when you use the 5-bladed razors is those blades, they cut your hair at an angle, and it makes the end very sharp, so they're more likely to go back into your skin and cause your ingrown hairs. So when you use just the single blade, it cuts your hair flat. So it's less likely to cause razor bumps. I mean, if you look at pictures from back in the day, like, 60s, 70s, 50s, you rarely see guys running around with razor bumps. And back then they were using straight razors and safety razors. So that would be my suggestion. Also, they have some solutions that you can put on your face after you finish shaving your face, and that'll help to disinfect it and stop some of the infections that are caused from the cuts and that sort of thing. Okay, this one is from La Roche-Jacqueline. What do you think about those 2 patches below your lips? I also have them and they're so annoying. I don't know, man. I have them. I can't do anything about it. That's the pattern on my face. So I just deal with it. I'm used to it. It doesn't really bother me too much. Tora San writes, most memorable travel location. I'd say Thailand. That was an amazing trip. I made the trip by myself. Spent about 12 days there. Went scuba diving. On tours. Had an amazing time there. Definitely recommend it. Any beard wax? This one's from Brian Garcia. He's asking if I have any beard wax or oil recommendations, and also thank you for my service. Thank you for your support. So I like the Temple Smoke scent. So I use the Utility Balm, the Temple Smoke Utility Balm, the mustache wax, and the oil. Those are my favorite scents from Beardbrand. And so when you have a thicker beard, you should probably use the Utility Balm. That helps to keep it down a little bit more. And then you can also use the mustache wax in combination with that to get a little thicker to help keep your beard in place. This one's from Nick O'Connor's. How did you overcome going bald? It came with time. I said it before, just looking out there's so many other people that are bald, and it's really not that big of a deal. I think trying to cover it up, like in the video my last video that I did, when it's super noticeable, I think that's probably the worst thing that you could do. So I'd say just shave your head and just get used to having a shaved head. And a lot of people like that look, actually. So there's no harm in that. Okay, Round Earth Shill writes, what's my height? I am 5'10" and a half. So in centimeters, that's 179 centimeters. This from Ball Hatase. He says, hi Ben, big fan of your content. In your opinion, what's your most preferred beard length, taking into consideration both the look and maintenance? Thanks. Well, the long beard that I have right now, this is super difficult to maintain. It's easy for it to go crazy. When I do style it, it only lasts for a couple hours, and then I have to go restyle it again. I'd probably say medium, between medium and short length. Yeah, between medium and short length is probably the easiest to maintain. I mean, now, like when I go to sleep and I wake up, my beard's doing all sorts of crazy things. When my beard was that short, I could just wake up and go in the bathroom and just a couple quick brushes and I was ready to go. So definitely less maintenance on that end. Well, that's all I got, guys. I hope I answered your questions. If I didn't, just leave a comment below, and thanks for watching. Appreciate the support, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.
Hey, I'm glad you've been watching these Alliance videos. Woo, good job. Hey, do yourself a favor. Treat yourself to a little treat and come join us. Join us at the Alliance. We would love to have you. See you soon.